Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
My name is Peter Robinson. 30 years ago, I drafted a speech that President Reagan delivered at the Berlin Wall. I flew to Berlin with the president's pre-advance party to do some research. It felt heavy, almost as though the air were heavier, almost as though there was extra atmospheric pressure, just because of this sense of moment, of place. I left the hotel where we were staying in downtown West Berlin, broke away from the American Party, got in a cab, and went to a residential district in West Berlin, where a retired couple, Dieter and Ingeborg Eltz, put on a dinner party. I wanted material, and so I asked the question I had to ask. I said, I've been told that you've all gotten used to the wall, but I flew over it today. Is it true? Are you used to it now? And then Ingeborg Eltz, the hostess, she became angry. And she said, if this man Gorbachev is serious with this talk, glasnost, perestroika, he can prove it by coming here and getting rid of that wall. And that went right into my notebook. And I knew at that moment that if the president had been there in my place, he would have responded to that remark. The decency of it, the simplicity, the power, the truthfulness of it. The National Security Council and the State Department tried to change the speech, suppress the speech, get that line out. The arguments were that it would raise false expectations, that it would put Gorbachev on the spot. Nobody went back to the president himself because he'd already said he particularly wanted to deliver that passage. And in the limousine on the way to the wall, the president just said, I'm delivering that speech as it was written. The boys at State aren't going to like this very much, but it's the right thing to do. Less than 2 years later, the wall did come down, but this speech came this close to never being delivered at all. You look at United Germany, and of course sooner or later that wall had to come down. That is not what it felt like at the time. It took everyone by surprise. The East German regime, the Soviets, all of us in the United States, the West Germans, and the East German people who streamed across the wall. No one expected it to happen. That is the fundamental nature of history. At the time, nobody knows what's going to happen next.
For more, please visit us at stanford.edu.